I call the June 8th, 2022 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order. Please stand with me for the pledge to allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. We'll have the roll call.
Vice Chair Jacks.
Here.
Commissioner Barlow. Commissioner Kelly.
Here.
Commissioner Hassett. Commissioner Meal.
Here.
Commissioner Martin.
Here.
Commissioner Abbott.
Here.
Commissioner Alexander.
Here.
Commissioner Morris. Chairperson Gillette.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. And now we'll have the automated announcement.
Anyone who has not signed in, please do so at the table located in the lobby. Should anyone wish to speak, please complete a request to speak form, which is also located on the lobby table next to the sign-in sheet. A request to speak form must be completed for each item you would like to speak on. Please note, there are stairs on the right, left, and center aisles, and we ask that you use caution when using the stairs. There is also a ramp located to the audience's left. If anyone has written comments, exhibits, petitions, photos, or letters they intend to present at today's meeting, have 17 copies and give them to a staff member at the back of the auditorium. Staff member, please hold up your hand for the audience. If you do not have 17 copies, you may use the overhead camera to present your documents. Please place your documents on the podium and line it up with the arrows indicated. If you want your documentation to go on record, you must hand them to the clerk after your presentation with the agenda item number clearly marked on the documentation. Members of the public cannot speak to staff members that are seated at the tables with microphones during the meeting. If you have questions, please see the staff member located in the back of the auditorium. All speakers will be limited to 2 minutes to make their presentation statements. Everyone, please turn off all cell phones or place them on vibrate during the meeting. If you must take a call, please leave the meeting area and go outside to have your conversation. We also ask the audience to refrain from talking with one another during the presentations and discussions. Today, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear public testimony and then forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. Everyone attending the meeting is asked to remember that the administrative building and campus are tobacco-free areas, which means no smoking is allowed from curb to curb. No food or drinks are allowed in the auditorium except for bottled water. If there are any items remaining on the agenda, the Commission will break for lunch for 1 hour per the Chairman's discretion.
Do I make this announcement regarding the... I do, okay. Today, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear a public testimony and then forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. The items with a recommendation made by the Commission will be heard by the Board of Supervisors on Tuesday, July the 5th at 9:30 a.m. in this same location, with the exception of any continued items. Everyone has received a copy of the minutes. Are there any questions or corrections? Hearing none, I will take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the April 13th, 2022 minutes.
Second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So moved. Item 1, Matthew Gunderson.
Item number 1 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone for Assessors parcel numbers 405, 49, 013, 041, and 070 from an RE 10A residential recreation 10-acre minimum lot size zone to an RE residential recreation zone to allow for a minor land division in the Moccasin vicinity. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
I will open the public hearing. Does the applicant wish to speak? Are there any other persons wishing to speak on this item? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Does any commissioner have any questions or comments at this time? Chair will now call for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve per staff recommendation.
Second? Alexander. I have a motion by Commissioner Martin, second by Commissioner Alexander. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Item number 2 is Alexander Brolin.
Item 2 is an evaluation of a request for an extension of time for a rezone of Assessors parcel numbers 221-35026 and 221-35027 to allow additional time to complete the conditions of BOS Resolution 2020-049 in the Fort Mojave vicinity. This will be the first extension of time requested by the applicant, and the applicant cites difficulties related to the COVID-19 pandemic for project delays. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. I now open the public hearing. I do have one person who has requested to speak on this item, John Hobb, I believe. Would you like to come to the podium, please?
Good morning, Madam Chair. I'm John Habib. I'm here on behalf of Mojave Power. I'm sorry?
I apologize for
Oh,
mispronouncing
no
your
trouble
name.
I'm here along with a panel of technical experts, should you all have any questions. So,
Are there any questions? Thank you.
thanks.
Is the applicant present, or are you the applicant? You are the applicant. Any other people wishing to speak on this subject, this item? Then I will close the public hearing. Any commissioners have any questions? Then I will call for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve for extension of time per staff recommendation.
I have a motion by Commissioner Abbott, second by Commissioner Kelly. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Item number 3 is Matthew Gunderson.
Item number 3 is an evaluation of a request for a rescission of BOS Resolution 2005-043, causing the property to revert from a C2 General Commercial Zone and C2H Highway Commercial Zone back to an AR Agricultural Residential Zone, having not met the conditions of approval in the Golden Valley vicinity. Staff recommends approval.
I'll open the public hearing. Is the applicant here? Anyone else wish to speak on this item? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any commissioners have any questions? Call for a motion.
I'll make a motion to rescind per staff recommendation.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Abbott, second by Commissioner Jacks. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Item number 4 has been withdrawn by the applicant. So we will move on to item number 5. Alexandra Brolin, I apologize.
Item 5 is an evaluation of a request for an amendment to the Mojave County General Plan from a suburban development area land use designation to a light industrial land use designation and a rezone from an AR 36A agricultural residential 36-acre minimum lot size zone, AR 18A agricultural residential 18-acre minimum lot size zone, and an AR 6A agricultural residential 6-acre minimum lot size zone to a CMO 36A commercial manufacturing open lot storage 36-acre minimum lot size zone, CMO 18A commercial manufacturing open lot storage 18-acre minimum lot size zone, and a CMO 6A commercial manufacturing open lot storage 6-acre minimum lot size zone for assessors parcel numbers 215-19015, 215-19025, 215-19026, and 215-19028 to allow for an expansion of a proposed marijuana establishment in the Golden Valley vicinity. Staff has received 2 letters of opposition and 3 letters of support. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Please give your name and your address. No, at the podium, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Don Lennox, 2403 Jasmine Drive in Bullhead City, Arizona. Just wanted to explain the guys behind our need for this rezone. Last year, we rezoned our existing farm to a CMO 36 to be able to, we were approved for a marijuana grow facility. We also have 4 other properties which we're trying to put inside of our package, but our farming footprint will remain the same. The 36 acres we're still going to be growing on. The 4 other properties will be there to support and spread our resources out. We have on the furthest 37-acre plot, the 215-19015, we have an existing well head out there. It's enough to backfeed our farm and supply us with a secondary resource for water. And that's our biggest reason for trying to get all this rezoned, is so we can utilize that, because if we have that tied to the marijuana establishment, we can't do that without rezoning. So we have to meet guidelines. And also be able to use that water would be great.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not familiar with growing marijuana. Do you have to put fences around this?
Yes, ma'am. Arizona state requirements, you have to have a privacy fence 10 feet tall and has to be solid. You also have to have a inch to inch and a half thick passage gate with security full-time.
So you will have people there
Yes, ma'am.
as security?
Yes, ma'am.
How about dogs?
Pardon me?
How about dogs?
Dogs. At this point, we have to hire a professional security team. I don't know if that's going to be with canines or not, but at this point, they're talking about some pretty sophisticated drone technology, and if there are sensors set off that these things can actually take off and go and see what's going on and investigate and throw an image back to a camera for you, and at a central location where we'll have security.
So this will pretty much be an armed camp?
No, ma'am. I wouldn't say it's an armed camp. We're trying to do what we can to make this thing not only best in class facility-wise, but we've also spent some time with our neighbors. We don't want to make this thing look like a junkyard or a prison. We want to make it pleasing to the eyes and hopefully aesthetically clean.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Wait, hang on.
Will this marijuana be grown in buildings, or?
It's a combination of both. They will have roof structures, and then as an infancy stage, and they'll be in a nursery, so they'll be indoors as they root. And then they'll be put in another semi-outdoor, it's got a top on it, semi-building, I guess you'd call it. And at that point, they grow their full cycle for 30 to 60 days.
And the water you're getting from the well that you have there?
We have one existing well on the 36-acre lot. That's on the corner of Sacramento and Quartzsite Road. We used to have 4,220 almond trees there. Unfortunately, it's been real hard to grow almonds, and the crop suffered extreme loss. So we've been forced to kind of do what we have to do to continue farming, and that was to rezone our farm and try to grow cannabis.
Was that nut farm, did it not grow right because of lack of water?
It wasn't lack of water per se. What it was is just its harsh conditions. Real hot UV. Winds. The winds every year, we have 5-year trees, and the winds every year, every time you lose a flower, you lose an almond. And when those 50-mile-an-hour winds come through with all the flowers on the trees, it just blow them off. So we could never really get a sustainable crop with the almonds.
Thank you.
Well, that doesn't make it sound like this is an ideal place to be growing it.
Well, the cannabis is a lot more, it's a lot more free-giving, it's more sustainable crop. And the folks that own the farm now from Colorado, they grow in a similar temperature, elevation, just like Golden Valley. So they think they've got it down to a point now in the science, they've been doing it for many years now in Colorado, that they can mimic that, hopefully, bring the genetics over and be able to sustain a crop.
Okay. Any other questions from the commissioners? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I do have some people who have requested to speak on this subject. And first one is Don Lennox.
That was me.
That was you, okay. Cassandra, oh boy, Cassandra. And the next person up will be Jeffrey Carrillo.
It's a complex last name. It's Judah Poluskar.
Please give your address as well.
Yes, it's 4399 Quartzsite Road.
Thank you.
I'm speaking in opposition of it because it's a residential area. I know that there's a lot of infants in the area. I myself walk around with my sister, which is 8 years old, and I feel like having an establishment of such nature would probably hinder the ability for children to walk around freely without feeling that there is some sort of industry prohibiting them to just express themselves freely, whether it is riding their bikes or just exploring the nature around. Plus, it's a very quiet neighborhood residential area. I feel like the industry would create more noise, pollution that would affect the tranquility of the residents in the area. And that's why I'm speaking in opposition of the industry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeffrey? Name and address,
everybody.
please.
I'm sorry?
Name and address.
Jeffrey Covillo, 4399 Quartzsite Drive. We're the owners on front, in which is this project they're trying to achieve. I'm totally against it. The area is a very clean, a very familiar area for the kids. Clean, it's beautiful. We left Las Vegas because we're having some health issues. That's why we left Las Vegas to come here to live. We love this place. It is not safe and it's not practical to achieve something like that. So I'm totally against it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So you're against it?
Yes, I'm against it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
The next person is Carrillo? Is that it? You've requested to speak.
My name is Shirley Carrillo.
I think we need a stool.
Of the owner of 4399 Quartzsite Road. I come to oppose because of the fear I had since I heard that would happen. When I heard that would happen, I thought that me and my friends could not play in the street anymore because of that situation, and thinking that we would be never able to get out for the danger of what will happen of all these people coming through. I have a problem listening to noise, and for that reason, I come to oppose to not have all these noise in the yard. As well, nobody will be able to go at night, everybody will be frightened. And then, if I don't oppose, there will be worse situations.
Thank you. And Shirley Carrillo? Oh, it's all the same family.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Untitled Carrillo, and you can see that everybody come from the one address because we are there, and that a property 4399 Quartzsite is the only house there. About 34 years and a half building there. It is a residential home where everybody is quiet. It's a very quiet place. I come here to oppose that project. I am a citizen who love our country, our county, I love my town, and I know, guys, you are doing a very good job because it's for that, and all the city here, even though we got a few problems, but we don't have such problem because you keep taking care about everything who can harm the city or the county, and I really happy about that. It's for that I'm come here because that project is not good. And then you guys, you know what is happening everywhere, that kind of that project. It's not because it's not for money, you can have money, but the thing is, if you got a week of survey about everywhere that got that project, it's not the same thing about what it is, the security. I am one who very support the security and the family lives and the wellness. And then all those pollution gonna throw down our little town that is very comfortable. Many people now is coming because they want to be here, yes, but come to help growing and in front for something more accessible than to destroy. And I hope, guys, that you, as family, you can understand what is gonna happen. There, the kids playing, our family. I'm close that land, just 10 feet. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question. Are you the only homeowner in that area?
Yeah, because we are the only in front of them, 10 feet, just in front of them, and that house have been built like 34 years and a half, because all the other houses, they are far away, not 300 feet. Is for that they don't come because they are like 1 mile or 2 miles away, all the house, but the only one in front, just in my house. They just gonna do that in my house. 10 feet away, 350 feet in front, and 10 feet away from where they are. They used to plant almond, but they kill all those almond trees, and then just to plant marijuana. And then, please, guys, I just beg you to do the good decision for the town and the county, because.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I have a question.
You have a question?
Yes, Mr.
How many acres
Abbott.
do you have there?
Say again, please.
Where you're living, is that, what size property is that on? Acreage?
I live in Quartzsite, and the Quartzsite, 4399 Quartzsite.
Well, there's some of those 40-acre partials.
What you say?
Is your parcel 40 acres?
No. It's 2.5 acres, but it's just in front of where they got, because they got all the 40 go just outside to Sacramento, and then it's just in front of my property with 350 feet in front and 10 feet to cross just the street.
Okay. Any further questions from the commissioners? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak on this subject? Give your name, come up to the podium, give your name and your address.
Hello again, I'm Don Lennox, 2403 Jasmine Drive in Bullhead City, Arizona. I just wanted to add a little bit of clarification after hearing our neighbor speak. We have already rezoned our farm at the corner of Quartzsite and Sacramento, and it has been already approved to be a marijuana grow facility. So at this point, our farm footprint will not change. And where the neighbor's house is located is our furthest most 37 acres that our 16-inch wellhead is at, that we need access to. And the only change from our neighbor's perspective looking forward to that field would be more than almost an eighth, 16th of a mile away, and that's going to be where our wellhead is, and a small pump house with a pipe that goes the opposite direction to Sacramento, where our current farm is located, our 36 acres. And you know, I just want to also add that we're trying to do a couple things for our neighbors as well. Their house is the furthest most house from our existing approved grow site at Sacramento and Quartzsite. They're located almost at Jaguar. We have 3 neighbors that are within 100 feet, 200 feet of the grow on Sacramento and Quartzsite, and those folks are the ones that wrote us the letters of support. And I just wanted to add that we are doing a few things for our neighbors. Most of our neighbors out there, they have smaller lots. They haul their water. It's hard. What we planned on doing, if we could get access to that well on our 37 acres by the neighbor's house, is to put an access valve out there with a lock and give our neighbors on that road the key to be able to get their water closer if they have to haul their water. And that was just a courtesy from us as a gesture, you know, to try to get back. But I just wanted to add a little bit of clarity that we are approved facility. Our farm footprint would not change in this rezone. And the only reason to rezone for us at this point is not to grow anything on the property by our neighbors that are here today. It's to use that water and make it part of our facility that's already been approved. And that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Question.
Yes, sir.
I can't tell by looking at this map, but does your property join Shinnerup and Aztec where they have the trees?
No, it does not. It does not.
How far away is it from that?
Shinnerup and Aztec's probably about 13 miles.
Wow.
Yeah, we're right off of Oatman Highway and Route 66 at Sacramento Road.
You realize the requirements of having a well and letting other people use it?
Well, at this point, it's something that I've thrown out there for the team and the owners because, you know, directly across from our farm, there's a real old guy there, Fred, that he's got to be 77 years old. He still hauls his water, and I'm trying to do this just with him in mind, and if our other neighbors can utilize it, I think it's great. Have we got through the logistics and through our site plan? No, we have not.
Good idea. I'm not saying anybody that would appreciate getting water.
Well, they're hauling it a long way sometimes, and like the guy across the street, he just doesn't have good equipment. And every time he goes out to get water, hard to stop the truck. It's hard to be safe. So we're trying to at least take care of him. And if our other neighbors on that street wanted to utilize it.
I don't think the water thing has anything to do with what you're asking for. So
No. That was just nothing more than a courtesy, something that we can give back to our neighbors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Commissioner Meal?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. You said that 2 or 3 times in your presentation that you've already been approved. Who approved it?
Well, we've been approved to be a marijuana grow facility. We still have to go through all the final approvals and certificates and get our fence up, and then get the final inspection from Adult Care in Phoenix to come out and do a site inspection before we can get the stamp of approval. And we have to meet all those qualifications, from the fence to if there's ADA guidelines for the restrooms we have to have, the building requirements, the access, all of it. And then egress, we had to do something too with Route 66 to skirt the tar to make sure it didn't degrade from people going on and off the dirt.
Okay, thank you.
You have one facility there already though, right?
Yes, sir.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Meal, the property, they have one property there on the corner of Sacramento and Quartzsite that was rezoned to allow for the marijuana facility several months to about a year ago. So that parcel was rezoned, and that rezone was approved by the Board of Supervisors. This is just adding additional parcels to that previously approved site.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Commissioner Alexander?
You're saying that it's not going to increase your footprint
No,
at
ma'am.
this point in time? Do you have future plans to increase that footprint once it's rezoned?
I don't believe that footprint would ever get any bigger, because 36 acres is already a lot to control and take care of. If they did anything more, it would probably be in facilities, processing, something like that. But the grow, that's plenty big enough.
Thank you.
That does bring up another question.
Yes, ma'am.
So after you grow the marijuana, I understand there's buds and things that have to be taken care of. Are they done at this site as well?
I can't really speak to that. I know that they do it 2 different ways in Colorado and in Oklahoma. But until it gets to that point, they have guys that take care of all that as far as the farmers. And the processing, I just don't know. I can't really speak to the specifics.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, do we have anyone else from the audience that would like to speak on this item? Come on to the podium.
Kenny Works, Yucca, Arizona. One item I haven't heard.
Sir, you need your name and your address, please.
Kenny Works, P.O. Box 567, Yucca, Arizona.
Thank you.
The only thing I wanted to hear was, is this for industrial use marijuana, or is this for recreational use? I haven't heard that explained. If it's for either one, there's the risk of pollination issues from surrounding farms contaminating each other's crops with their pollen versus industrial versus recreational uses. I just hadn't heard that addressed. I just wanted to express my concern about that. Thank you.
Sir?
Thank you. Commissioner Abbott?
Can staff answer your question?
Madam Chair, Commissioner Abbott, we wouldn't differentiate between the two. The zoning just allows for marijuana to be grown on the facility, and then the licensing they get from the state would determine the type, if it was for medicinal use or for recreational use. I'm not aware of what the applicant has planned.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Then I close the public hearing. Any commissioner have anything to say at this point? Then I'll call for the motion.
Motion to approve with staff recommendations.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Kelly, second by Commissioner Jacks, to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So that is,
So with Martin, Meal, and yourself, that's 3 to 4 approving it, so it would pass.
so it passes.
It would be a recommendation for approval.
Right. Thank you. Item number 6, Alexandra.
Item 6 is an evaluation of a request for a special use permit for Assessors Parcel Number 3136107B to allow for an RV park in an AR 36A agricultural residential 36-acre minimum lot size zone in the Antares vicinity. Staff has received 1 letter of opposition. Staff recommends approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. Is the applicant, I'm going to open the public hearing. Is the applicant present? I have 2 requests to speak on this subject. Eric Seward? Seward?
Good morning, Council. Eric Seward, 9503 East El Norte, Hackberry, Arizona, 86411. I am a property owner bordering proposed rezone. I have some major concerns and am strongly opposed. First, I feel the community should know the impact of an RV park in our neighborhood. So if the environmental impact study report is available, I would appreciate it if we can see them, along with the traffic impact analysis and drainage reports. I feel we should know what kind of park is being put in. Is it overnight, basic campground, RV resort, or permanent resident park? This would be a huge factor in which problems come with it, i.e. increased crime, loud weekend parties, and how much increased traffic and dust that will occur. Before this proposal is even considered, we should also look at some of the discrepancies between the proposed layout and Mojave County ordinances, of which under Section 37, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it requires 2 entrances, a visitor parking, and a recreational area. I'm not sure if Mojave County follows the federal fire code of a minimum 25-foot width of roads or a county minimum of 20-foot width. We should also consider the dead-end road this park will reside and the 3 miles of single-lane, non-county maintained road for access to the park, where we maintain the roads ourselves. We should also highly consider the dust control and if the 2,500-gallon septic will be sufficient for our 50 RVs. My concern is it will overflow and contaminate the water table in the area used for the surrounding property owners. I would love to go over a lot more rules and regulations. However, it will exceed my 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I have 1 other, Nancy Starr.
Hi, I'm Nancy Starr, and I live at 9751 East El Norte Street. And my next-door neighbor who borders kitty corner, her name is Nancy Kindlin, and she asked me to speak on her behalf as well. She is recovering from a 4-month hospitalization, and her husband just passed, Rodney, approximately 3.5 weeks ago. So she just really wasn't up to coming. And I just am opposed, she is opposed to an RV park presenting itself. We welcome new neighbors who choose to be residents because it's zoned for agricultural residential. And I don't know if that would be commercial, industrial, or what it would be, but it's not zoned for that. And that would impact us in that not only visually and all the dust that is already blowing our way from the farmlands, but this would be right next door neighbor. So, and also, I'm sorry, I'm nervous, so I'm kind of sketchy. Trumpet Way is a dead-end road. There's no access from El Norte Road, which is probably close to a mile to travel from 66 to Trumpet Way. But that was no longer a road as of about 20 years ago. So the access to this one is going to be north, which would require an additional 2 or 3 miles to get to. And as Eric mentioned, none of it is county-maintained roadways, and we take care of it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Are there any questions for this? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I do have a letter of opposition as well on this particular one. Are there any others wishing to speak on this item?
I have a question for staff. That has already been rezoned. As I understand this, it has nothing to do with what's already being done, what already has been done. It's just to correct this exhibit.
Madam Chair and Commissioner Abbott, this item is a request for a special use permit. There is no rezone for this item, and there is no correction for this item. It's just an application for a special use permit to allow for an RV park.
Thank you. I'm going to close the public hearing. Any other commissioners have any questions? I do. If this is a road that is maintained by the persons who live on this road, that, as far as I'm concerned, that's going to create a problem. Unless the person who's requesting this is going to share in the maintenance of that road.
Madam Chair?
Yes, sir.
So this would be the first part of the application process for the RV park is the property is zoned AR, which by special use permit would allow for an RV park, but it has to go through this process, a special use permit process. If approved, then they would still need to go through what's called a site plan review process. Within that site plan review process, we determine whether or not a traffic impact analysis would be needed. With that, they determine the road conditions, what improvements need to be done to those roads, if any, and those would be done by the applicant or the developer. And so any improvements or additional improvements or regulations that would be required would be addressed at that site plan stage, including septic systems, drainage, everything would be addressed at that site plan to make sure it meets our current requirements and regulations.
Is dust considered by them?
Madam Chair, the dust is not something that we would address within that site plan. ADEQ, Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, could have a say in the dust, but that's not determined by our department.
All right, thank you very much. My chair will call for a motion.
Make a motion to approve for staff recommendation.
Second. I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Abbott and a second by Commissioner Kelly. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Aye. One opposed. Motion carries. Item number 7. Gunderson?
Item number 7 is an evaluation of a request for an amendment to the Planning and Zoning Commission Resolution number 71-367 to remove the requirement that parcels A, B, and C must be developed as a complete parcel in order to receive permits in the Kingman vicinity. Just as a little bit of background, back in 1971, there was a large rezone for this area. And there were these 3 parcels that were specified that were rezoned to C2 or SDC, which is a special development commercial zone that allowed for general commercial uses, but that these 3 parcels would all need to be developed as a single parcel in order to receive permits. 2 of those 3 parcels have since been rezoned and developed. One became a subdivision, another one became, part of it is a church and part of it is the apartments that are across from the community college there. And then this is the 3rd parcel that has since been split and owned by 3 separate property owners. So one of those property owners is seeking to have the condition removed so that they can develop the portion that they own. Staff has received 1 letter of opposition for this item, and staff recommends approval.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing. Is the applicant present? Anyone wish to speak on this subject, on this item? Please come to the podium. Give your name and your address.
My name is Carol McFerrin, and the address is 4975 North Ty Street. Thank you. In the field immediately across from my home at 4975 North Ty Street, I see my neighbor Don. Like clockwork, Don is on his daily stroll in the field with his dogs, Thor and Maggie. Thor's playful energy inspires the much older Maggie to participate in their daily explorations. From morning to sunset, the field welcomes neighbors on leisurely walks with their dogs. Children, too, can be seen riding their bike of choice or exploring the field with their best friend by their side. In the field, the kids can be in a safe place. Over the years, the field has become a natural communal park, but all that may be about to change. I know parcels A through C by their parcel numbers. These parcels are zoned C2. It's my understanding the owner of parcel 32425-464J requested this amendment to remove the requirement that all 3 parcels must be developed as a complete parcel in order that he be able to construct a storage unit complex. According to Google Maps, Kingman already has a minimum of 14 self-storage locations. They are rightly so situated near freeways and along industrial streets. I implore this commission to deny the amendment. C2 zoning may have been appropriate for this area back in 1971, but it is misguided today. 2 of the 3 parcels border North Ty Street and are situated in exceedingly close proximity to a neighborhood of residential dwellings. Please consider the negative impact it will have on the neighboring children and our neighborhood if a pool hall, liquor store, bar, or even a storage unit complex were permitted to be independently built right smack in the area comprised primarily of residential dwellings. Ask yourself, why were these 3 parcels over 50 years ago originally required to be developed as a complete parcel? Surely that would have been the opportune time to develop each parcel independent of the other at a time when a fledgling neighborhood would have been least impacted. I don't pretend to know the answer, but I believe that the owner may have envisioned a project that promoted development continuity, development that is sensitive and desirable to a neighborhood and compatible with its surroundings. Thank you so much.
I have a question.
Certainly.
How many people live in this area?
Oh, in this immediate area? I don't know the population. The acreage for the homes can be anywhere from like a quarter of an acre, less. But there is substantial residential, as I said, residential dwellings around there. And there's a new community that's being developed as well over off of, I think it's called Eastview. It's a new development that's growing there, and there's, I think, a much better project for this piece of parcel would be something like a mobile home park or something that would add to the community and the surroundings, but not anything industrial, not a storage unit or a bar. That's just, as I said, it's misguided. Over time, earlier, that might have been more appropriate. Today, no.
You referenced the field. Are you saying that the children in that area have been using this as a park?
No, but I'm saying I see children in there riding their bikes. I see them riding their quads. I see them walking their dogs. I see neighbors who walk their dogs in that field every single morning. And it's kind of grown into, it's kind of neat. I sit on the front porch and I just kind of watch the activity that goes through that area. It's kind of cool.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I have a question for the
Commissioner Alexander?
Yes. And staff, please correct me if I'm misleading here, but are you aware that the current zoning allows for any one of those people to get together and do the whole thing in storage if they were desiring to do that? It's currently zoned so that someone can put a storage facility there. And this is not about a rezone.
I understand that, and that's why I said 50 years ago that was probably appropriate. Today, with all the residential growth that has grown around that parcel, it just seems misguided and just a wrong place to put this. There's so many other areas. Something like that, and even a bar, which would be allowed, a tavern would be allowed, a liquor store would be allowed, and it just is misguided in today's environment.
But you do understand that we're not hearing today about rezoning.
Right.
So that would be not something that we will be voting on today.
That is correct.
It's
But
just
this gentleman wants to, I'm sorry.
It's just to make those parcels separate for each individual owner to develop as they would.
I understand that. And I'm just hoping that you will deny this so it makes it more difficult for individuals to put something individually like the unit, the storage unit, or a bar, or a tavern, or whatever else might be there, and maybe develop it as it was intended in 1971 as a single parcel, so that maybe a mobile home park or something else that would be more conducive and complement the neighborhood, instead of something that would, it would just seem so incoherent to have something just like that in that area with all those other homes all around it. It just...
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to ask staff, apparently these 3 parcels are owned by 3 different people now. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. I'll close the public hearing. Any commissioners have any questions, further questions? If not, I'll call for a motion.
I move to approve item 7 according to staff recommendation.
A second?
Second that.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Anderson and a second by Commissioner Jacks. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. The item is approved. We move on to item number 8.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I need to know if you okayed number 6, the special use permit, because I couldn't hear you.
Number 6, I believe that we approved that.
We did.
It was a split vote, but I believe that we approved it. You're welcome. Is that correct, Laura?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we're moving on to item number 8, Matthew Gunderson.
Item number 8 is an evaluation of a correction to Board of Supervisors Resolution number 2022-080 to correct the exhibit to identify the accurate zoning designations. This item was originally heard by this commission in April and was approved by the Board of Supervisors in May, but the exhibit that was attached to the resolution showed the incorrect zoning designations. So this correction is to make sure that they identify the appropriate RE2A and RE1A zones instead of AR2A and AR. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. I'll open a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this item? Hearing none, I will close the public hearing. Any commissioner have any questions or anything to say? If not, I'll call for a motion.
Make a motion for correction to the BOS resolution number 2022-080.
I need a second.
Second motion.
Okay. I have a motion by Commissioner Jack, seconded by Commissioner Abbott. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Item number 9 is the monthly reports. They were sent out via email yesterday. Are there any comments regarding them? And we have, are there anything else the commissioners would like to say? Any reports?
I have something to say.
Okay, Commissioner Abbott.
I don't think we should accept whoever's in charge of doing that, Christine Ballard's resignation.
Why not? She's having a party.
Yeah, she could have
Done
at
a
least.
great job.
Yes.
Many years there.
Outstanding.
Yeah,
It's a big loss to the county, in my opinion.
we'll have the call to the public.
Yeah. If I may say something.
Of course.
I want everyone to know that it has been a pleasure to work with this commission, as well as all the other commissions I've worked with over the years. I want to thank everyone for the opportunity. Definitely, I leave you with a clear conscience, because this team that's been sitting at this table for the past several months, I think over a year now, are doing a very good job. They know their jobs, they do them well, and they're already making great strides to move the department forward in many aspects. So I feel very comfortable in leaving you in their good hands.
Thank you. We appreciate all the work that you have done, and I'm sure that you will be missed.
Enjoy your retirement.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, and please do come to the party.
We will try. Hearing no call to the public, this meeting is adjourned.
Okay.